Okay, so guys, I have a Zelda timeline theory. Most people, actually everybody but me, think Skyward Sword is in the beginning of the Zelda timeline. But I think a different game is. And how King Breath of the Wild we have end the Spirit Tracks. But one game of a train is at the end. I mean, it sort of makes sense because the forming of a Sheikah, but it doesn't make sense. So, we know in Breath of the Wild, the Master Sword broke and revived after hundreds of years, correct? Yes. And we know in Skyward Sword, the Master Sword was first formed, but it could be a totally different Master Sword. And also, in Tears of the Kingdom, the Master Sword broke, right? Yes, it did break. So, what does this mean? Breath of the Wild can be at the beginning of the Zelda timeline. The Master Sword. Okay. So the distance from Tears of the Kingdom and whenever Skyward Sword is could be thousands of years apart for the regeneration of a Master Sword. It makes sense, right? Because we all know the Master Sword can rebuild, right? Like this all the way to this beauty. So, my point is, I think the Zelda timeline theory is wrong. And also, I can be correct because the makers of Zelda didn't completely show where the Zelda timeline is. We just know that it's all three timelines. Hyrule's Decline and the Last Hero, the Dark World and the Hero's Descendants, the Hero of Wind and the New World. So, yeah, my theory can be correct. I have proof, I have the theory, and yeah, but what doesn't make sense is in Tears of the Kingdom, Ganondorf is old, and in Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf first appears. But my theory makes it make sense. So, that use of time travel in Zelda, people, in a few games, it's happened. Like Hyrule Warriors, and a bunch of other stuff. And that's the one game I know. Technically, it did happen in Ocarina of Time. So, it can make sense. Because if it did happen, that would make Ganondorf reappear. Correct? If he time traveled from the past, he can go back to this time, which makes him anew or something. You know how Ganondorf has part of a Triforce? Maybe Ganon knows when he's dying in the future because of the Triforce. Well, that wouldn't make sense how Link and Zelda know, but it does, because Link and Zelda are incarnations of the past Link and Zelda. So, that is my theory, and I hope you liked it. And I hope Nintendo watches it and says I'm correct, and I don't know. So I'm gonna end this video here.